Thank you all for joining us today. If you have any issues with hearing or anything, always please let us know in the chat. And then as for questions, you can always put that in the chat and we'll either catch them as we're going through the presentations or we'll kind of just hit on those at the end. But we're so excited to have you here today for our webinar. It's kind of art-based theme today, and we have 4 amazing hotels here with us. So we'll have Canoe Place. Chandler will be presenting for Canoe Place, and then we will have Natalie with Nemacolin, Farmington, Pennsylvania, and then we'll have Helena with the Emblem in Prague, and then I will be presenting for Aramaris in Sorrento, Italy, on behalf of our Aramaris team. So just kind of some background on Calliope Collective, if you're not familiar. My name is Olivia Goronsky, and I'm the leisure sales manager with Calliope. I recently joined in April. We are a growing team, and you all are probably familiar with our VP of Sales, Natalie Payne. She is on a roadshow right now in New York. And then we have Mari Chalk, who is based in Ireland, our Director of Global Sales. We have an amazing team, and we represent an amazing collection of mostly independently owned hotels. And if you're not familiar, the Calliope name comes from the meaning beautiful voice in Greek. And Calliope was the ancient muse who presided over eloquence, poetry, and music. And her namesake, the Calliope hummingbird, is actually one of the smallest migratory birds, which travels thousands of miles between its nesting grounds, between the summer and winter. So that really does kind of represent what we do here at Calliope with, using our voice for these smaller independent hotels to get the word out to all of you. So we travel around and do that. And then here's just a look before we get into our amazing hotels we have on the call today at our current portfolio. So we have some great hotels in the US. Today we have Canoe Place and Nemacolin on the call. And then we're also growing really fast in Italy. So we actually just brought on 2 new hotels as of a few weeks ago. We have Polizia Grassi in Venice and then Rosa Petra in Cortina. So we're really growing our portfolio out there. And then we have an amazing itinerary for Ireland. So we can always send that over to you with all the best spots to stop at between the K Club, Dromoland, and the Europe. And then today we will be starting, like I said, with Canoe Place with Chandler. And then, as I said, if you have questions, you can just put them in the chat and we will get to those. Okay, now I'm going to pass on to you, Chandler. Right, you should have the go ahead.
Awesome. Good morning. I'm Chandler, and I'm over at Canoe Place in Hampton Bays. So Canoe Place, we are a small luxury boutique property. The property opened in 2022, but it has a lot of history. You'll see here it says Hampton Bays 1697, which is the year that technically the inn was founded. And this is one of the original pictures of the main inn. For years, it's been an iconic place to gather. So just to give a little bit of history about the property, it has one of the richest histories in the Hamptons. It goes all the way back to the 1600s. It first served as a crossing point for the Shinnecock tribe, and over time, it evolved into a gathering place for travelers that were coming out east. And by the time that the 1700s and 1800s rolled around, it had earned its reputation as a welcoming inn for merchants, politicians, and locals to the area. And then in the 20th century, it became a little bit more glamorous and was known as the getaway to the Hamptons and the gateway to the Hamptons. And it became a magnet for celebrities, musicians, and politicians. A lot of deals were struck there. A lot of music and legendary parties unfolded. Some of the popular names from Hollywood's golden era and political circles that you might recognize: Albert Einstein, John Rockefeller, Lucille Ball, Babe Ruth, FDR. We had tons of performances from some really well-known people like the Ramones, Duke Ellington, Led Zeppelin, Billy Joel. So it was throughout time a really well-known iconic spot. It's known as the first stop out east, since it is the first stop as you make your way into the Hamptons. So the inn has been restored to really tie in a lot of its original architecture, which is really nice. The town of Southampton wanted us to keep that original feel since it is the site technically of America's oldest inn. So you'll see even the newer photos of the inn still really do resemble the original. Which you'll see here. So this really does, oops, sorry, went 2 slides up forward. Does look like the original photo in the beginning. Here's some more pictures of the property. So we have our main property, which is our main inn. We've got 20 rooms, which are made up of suites and king rooms. All rooms are king at the property. And then we have 5 multi-bedroom cottages on the property as well, ranging from 1 bedroom to 4 bedroom. And we also have boat houses, which are townhouses. They are 2 and 3 bedroom condo units that overlook the Shinnecock Canal, which are also just stunning. They're perfect for family getaways, group getaways. So there's really a wide variety of accommodations. And we just opened in 2022. Everything was top to bottom renovated. So it really is magnificent. The map here shows you a little bit about the location of where we are. So it really is the first stop out east. You'll see CP is where we're located. And you've got the North Fork, which is home to some of the best vineyards and wine on Long Island. You've got the Montauk all the way down at the end on the right side. You have the Orient Point Ferry. You have some super well-known beaches, some of the most beautiful beaches really on Long Island. You have the Parish Art Museum. We're super close to some of the most well-known golf clubs and courses. So that's awesome. We have Sabonic, Shinnecock, National. So it's definitely an ideal location for any guests who are here for golf. We can help you put together oyster tasting. We have a live marina just at our boathouse location. So we can take a boat over to really anywhere. They can do water sports. You can go over to Pico Oysters, which is our partner, and they supply oysters really for everywhere in New York. And they'll do a whole shucking experience with your guests. So there's really a lot to offer, and the location is really ideal for making your way out east. This is just a map of our property here. So you can kind of see the campus. Here we have our main inn, and then you have the few bedroom cottages located throughout the main property. So these are within walking distance of the main inn. And then just a short walk across the way, we have 37 of those boathouse units, which are going to be those 2 through 3 bedroom condo style units. We are about 86 miles from the city. You can get to us driving. The Long Island Railroad is a short distance from us, and we have a house car that can help coordinate pickups to and from the railroad. A lot of people coming from the city also take the Hampton Jitney, which is a well-known bus that shuttles people, especially in summer. You'll see that like a full line waiting to get on the Jitney to come out east. Here's some more photos. We do a beach experience. So in the warmer months, we will set up a picnic and umbrellas and chairs for you on the beach. And we can take you out there with our house car. We've got the pool. We have bikes available all summer long at the property. And then this picture on the left here is one of our beautiful spaces called The Study, which is super cozy. It's available for guests to use for private events. We can also use it, sometimes we do special activations in there. We do speakeasies. We'll have a DJ in there. Outside, out back, we do fires and s'mores. We do jazz in the garden, which is that area with the fire pit there. And we also have a spa where we do massage and facial. Here's some photos of our accommodations. So you'll see a mix of our cottages, in rooms, and boathouses in here. All of our cottages have an outdoor space featured, which you'll see in that oval photo in the middle, with a fire pit, dining area. So it's really a private, nice, spacious accommodation. All of the rooms are furnished by Workstead, which is a Brooklyn-based design company. You have, although slightly different throughout each accommodation, they all have that same feel. And no one room at the main inn is really the same, which is great. They all have something that ties them in, and they're similar in design, but every time you stay, you'll have something a little bit different within each accommodation, which is super fun to see. Here's some other photos of our in-rooms and suites. And then the photo on the left is a photo of one of our cottages. That's a 3-bedroom cottage over here. So it's quite large. It's like a little house. And then to the right is our boathouses. So you'll see this is right on the canal. And you've got, we have a bunch of different buildings all mixed between the 2- and 3-bedroom accommodations, and then the pool in the back and hot tub. And then just to the left, there is an active marina with boat slips, so we can help arrange any boating activities. Here's some pictures of our cottages. They all have full kitchens, which we can fully stock for you with anything you need.
Yeah, and I
And
feel
then
like the boathouses, when I was there, they're really great for families because you kind of feel like you're on your own, but you still do get the services of the hotel
totally.
and everything, correct? Yeah,
Totally.
that's
So
really
you
nice.
still have like full kitchen, full dining room, living room. It's quite spacious. Each bedroom is a king bedroom with ensuite bathroom and a half bath on the first level as well. So you really have tons of space, and you still get all the amenities of a hotel. So it does work great for families traveling. We still do housekeeping service. You still have access to order room service. You have access to the pool at the boathouse and the hot tub, the fitness center there, but you also can go over to the main inn and go to the spa or use the pool over there, use the restaurant. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with a hotel stay, but still a little bit more private and super spacious for families. And this is one of the boathouse units here. So you can see it, it's like a full home. They all have balconies, each bedroom. So there's really not a bad view over here with looking out to the canal. And then it does look across to the main property as well. Here are some photos you'll see along the back up top is our Good Ground Tavern, our terrace. So this is at the main property. It's a stunning outdoor space that we use as our restaurant. It's really like the spot to be in the warmer months.
Yeah,
And
when
we
I was
work
there, it was so lively that you guys had a live concert going on
amazing.
that night too in the space, but I felt like it was the gathering spot. Like before the concert, everyone was there getting dinner and drinks, and after, especially in the summer. So that really is a great spot to all gather together.
Totally. And the property has like really 4 different dining areas, which is nice. So you kind of get a little bit of everything. And we have the terrace, which is that outdoor space. We have the study, which is that cozy space with the fireplace. We have another space that tends to be used for breakfast called the bottle room. And then we have the Good Ground Tavern, which is what you're looking at here, which is our indoor restaurant. So there's a lot of different feels within the property and a lot of different spaces, which is nice. Our restaurant is operated by Union Square Events, which is the Danny Meyer concept group. And here's another picture of the Good Ground Tavern. So just a fun fact about the tavern, there's 2 steps down into the restaurant. So when we redid the inn, the town of Southampton wanted us to honor the original architecture of the building. So we weren't able to change any of the ceiling heights and a lot of things like that. So to give the restaurant a little bit of a little dimension and the height of the ceiling a little bit higher. They did dig it down 2 steps down so that when you're down there, the ceilings feel a little bit higher. So it's just a fun tie into the history. So you'll notice like all of the fireplaces in the inn are the original fireplaces that they kept in the same spots as they were. So a lot of ties and nods to the original property. This is our bottle room. So we tend to do breakfast in here in like more off-peak season. We do complimentary continental breakfast, which usually goes on this long table as a buffet. So usually starting October through May, we have that available for guests every morning. And then this is that beautiful terrace space outside. So this grassy area is what we call the garden. And then under this awning here is the terrace, which is lovely. We do live music out here in the summer, different activations and partnerships with different brands. This can also be used as a private event space. If you did ever have a client that wanted to do something like that, the bar is always super lively. They do specials and happy hour every day, especially during the summer months. There's also heaters under here and the awning fully retracts. So we try to keep it active as long as we can until it gets super cold, but it does stay pretty warm under there with the heat. So it's still usable for most of the year. And then this is that study space, the super cozy space in here. We have it set up for a meeting in one of these photos, so it works really well for like board of directors or private dinner, family event. We do like a lot of family dinners for 10 to 20 guests in here, or it can just be used for guests enjoying a cocktail. We have board games in there. You can stream a football game, so sometimes during football season, we do fun things like that. And then we also do a lot of private events. We have a huge ballroom and connecting space to it. So we've started hosting a lot of weddings, corporate groups, really a range of anything. So the spaces are quite lovely. And we also do a lot of concerts and comedy series. So since that was part of our history originally, the ballroom where it's located now actually at one point was a nightclub that closed down, and the property sat vacant for a long time. But the owners now came in and did a major renovation to it, but we still honor the music that happened in there. So we do a lot of concerts. This summer, we had a ton of concerts in comedy. We had Amy Mann, Graham Nash, we had the Dark Star Orchestra, Gypsy Kings, Mark Norman, Rufus Wainwright. So we really try to keep that space active and honor the original music that happened there. So those are also, those events are open to the public, they're open to hotel guests. So that's something that we try to keep the programming, the lineup pretty strong throughout the year. So there's always something going on.
Yeah, and I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it is like one of the only places, like nice live venues in the Hamptons, you know? So
Definitely.
yeah. So I feel like you guys definitely have a leg up there. And when I went to the concert, it was nice. They set up like an outdoor bar in the courtyard area
Mhm.
and some casual food. So you could do that, or you could go to the tavern and eat there as well. But it was just nice to have the full experience and have everyone be able to enjoy it before and after. And yeah, it was amazing.
Totally. They activate the spaces before the concerts. We do like the pre-concert parties outside, and we usually tie in some sort of like fun special cocktail to whoever's performing. And the ballroom can hold up to 500. So we've had concerts that are fully sold out with a wait list. It's really a great spot and an awesome venue for that type of event. Um, Canoe Place is in the town of Southampton, but the hamlet of Hampton Bays. Um, there's tons to do in the area. We're a short distance from Southampton, where you can go shopping, Sag Harbor, golf, as I mentioned, it is a top destination for golf. So that always draws in tons of golfing groups. Water access, as I mentioned, the boathouses have access to, we have a marina with boat slips there, which is awesome. And we're really surrounded by water, the whole Hamptons really. So super easy access. And the beaches, we'll do the beach picnic and beach setup. We also, during the warmer months, we have kayaks and canoes and paddle boards available for our guests that we can help arrange. We can shuttle guests to those locations to do those activities. And then vineyards and wineries. I mean, there's endless vineyards and wineries on the North Fork, which we're super close to. Some of the best. We can help arrange tastings. We work with a local vendor to do what we call sites, bites, and flights, where they take you around to some of the well-known vineyards in the area, which is a super fun experience if you're with a couple people or a group. So there's definitely no shortage of vineyards, farms, things like that to do in the area. And then the food and regional fairs. So we try to incorporate a lot of that into our menu, but as I was saying, Pico Oysters, which is our partner, they'll do a whole shucking farm experience if that's something you're interested in, which is super fun. We can bring in some vendors to do like a wine tasting on property. We call it like a taste of the Hamptons, where we've had the curated dinner menu put together with pairings from local wine, food, and we do keep our menu locally sourced as much as possible. And then the villages, I was saying it's close to Sag Harbor, Southampton. Our concierge team can help you with reservations, shopping experiences. So even if it's just walking around in the towns, it's definitely charming. Lots of good stores to pop into, and we can help facilitate those rides to those locations.
Great. Well, thank you, Chandler. And Chandler joined us today, but they also do have an amazing general manager, Matthew. So he's very involved, and since it's such a small property, he's very involved on emails, and you'll oftentimes be getting an email back from him. So they really have an incredible hands-on team there. And so much to offer with all the different accommodation types. And it's just so charming and lovely. You can feel like you're staying in someone's Hampton's house, but again, you are staying at the comfort of a hotel. So definitely one to consider. And for all seasons, really. I mean, fall right now, it's amazing. But thank you so much. And then next, we're going to be headed to Aramaris. Let me take over control here. So I will be presenting on behalf of the Aramaris team today, and this is our gem property located in Sorrento, Italy. So this one has been hugely popular, we've seen, and they're still fairly new. So they opened in April of 2024, and it really is fulfilling a niche that the Amalfi area needed. And it's contemporary, it's fresh, it's new, and they don't really have anything like it in the area. And a lot of the advisors are finding that they can book some of the suite types, for entry level rooms of other hotels in the area that have been there a while. So it really has been a great property, and we've seen great success with it. And they are a part of Virtuoso, Preferred Platinum, Fine Hotels and Resorts. And as I was saying, so it's located in Sorrento. So you're really also, you're in the heart of Sorrento. So you're about walk away from the Tazo Square. So right in the hustle and bustle of cafes and everything you want to be near in Sorrento. But then you also have the great advantage of being kind of in the gateway of the Amalfi and all these other amazing coastal areas. So you can go to Positano for a day trip, Capri, Pompeii, Amalfi. You have all of these options right at your fingertips, and everything can be set up directly from the concierge team there. They're super hands-on with setting up guided tours and all of that. And then so you're about an hour away from Naples, so you'd fly into the Naples airport. Here's just a look at some of the pictures and surrounding areas. A lot of the rooms do have views of the sea and the Gulf of Naples. And then you are in the heart of Sorrento as well. And again, you just have all these great day trips right at your fingertips that can be set up through boat experiences, guided tours, food tours, whatever you name it. And there's so much that can be done here. And then also on the property, they do cooking classes. And of course, they have a limoncello. I think they added a limoncello tasting recently at the hotel in the afternoon by the pool, which is such a nice touch. And of course, food tours in the area as well. And then beach clubs. So the hotel does have access to two different beach clubs in the area. These would be about 15 minutes from the hotel. So really convenient. You get premier service there. And this again can be set up directly from the concierge team. So getting into more of the hotel. So it's about 49 rooms total. And suites, of course, are included in that as well. It is adults only, so that would be ages 10 and up for this property. And there's the location, like I said, really in the heart of Sorrento. You're actually overlooking the Excelsior Vittoria Hotel Gardens right there, if you're familiar with that hotel. And then a lot of the rooms have views of the water and gardens, and just in such a good walkable spot. And then this right here, what you're seeing is the lobby and what is drawing so many people to this hotel. I mean, it has the beautiful contemporary feel. They mix a lot of Italian art and materials, traditional materials, into the design in a contemporary way. As you can see, that beautiful eye-catching blue tile is all over the outlets and the rooms as well. And speaking to our art theme today for the webinar, the lobby kind of serves actually as an ever-changing gallery. So you'll see a lot of these abstract photos and such. These all mostly come from local artists and they change these out quite a bit. So it's kind of nice to walk around and be immersed into that and give you more of a sense of the local art in the area. And then looking into the rooms, so there's about 49 rooms total, as I said. I'm just going to kind of go through the photos and you can see the design. But even the entry level rooms are pretty spacious. We do have some suite options with some balcony space. They either overlook the garden or a sea view. And some of the couches do have pull-out sofa beds as well, so that's good. Some of the rooms also do have two beds. And I know quite a few of them do have tubs included in the bathroom as well. So you can see, but just really beautiful look and design to all the rooms. Again, that beautiful blue tile is just stunning. And here is one of the suite terraces with a gorgeous view overlooking the Bay of Naples. And then this takes us to the pool area. So they have a gorgeous pool, and this is a great spot to relax after a guided tour or a boat day. And you can get snacks and drinks out here. And then they have their main restaurant, which is Cora, and this is off of the main lobby area. All of the food here is locally sourced, and they have a lot of seafood dishes here. And then this is my, I love this spot up here. It is the rooftop lounge bar area called the Sky Lounge. So this overlooks the Bay of Naples. And I know they have great drinks and food here. And this is actually open to the public. So if you have guests staying in the area, they can come and enjoy the rooftop. It's just a great place to wind down after the day. And I know they do fireworks up here sometimes. I know when Natalie went, she saw a little fireworks show, which was a nice surprise. And then there is a spa as well. So the spa is 3 treatment rooms. So it's a smaller spa, but they do have the great amenities, as you can see here, the sauna, hot tub, Turkish bath, and all of that. And I believe you can actually rent out just this space you see here complimentary. So if you have a couple traveling, that would be a great option for them for if they're on a honeymoon or something to rent out that relaxation space in the spa and all the amenities. And they also do have a gym. And then here's the amazing pool again. You're surrounded by a grove of lemon trees. Just lovely sitting out there. And then here is the GM. So this is Nicolo. He couldn't join us today, but I got to spend some time with him in Vegas at Virtuoso Week. And he also is just a very hands-on general manager. If you ever need anything, their sales team, Gianluca, is great, and their concierge team can set up everything for you and for your guests, for your clients. I mean, for all the tours. And it, like, again, it's really just been such a popular option because the pricing is still pretty good compared to the hotels that have been there a while. And I see, Marnie, you had a honeymoon stay there, and we've seen a lot of honeymoons. We've seen like a lot of younger couples come to this property. It's been really popular within that realm. But that is a little look into Aramaris. And then next we will take you to the Emblem in Prague, and I will hand it over to you, Elena. Let me just give you, or I'm going to drive it for you. That's what we decided. Just remembered that. All right. Well, I will hand it off to you, Helena.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, depending from where you are listening from. In Prague, it's the afternoon, so I go with good afternoon from the Emblem Prague. We are a small boutique hotel with 59 rooms, and we are located in the city center. One of the things which I believe we do a little bit differently is, as you will see a little bit later, our connection with artworks. We have our own gallery, which at the moment entails 70 unique pieces of artworks. we can go to the next slide. Yes. The location is very central. We are right in the city center. The location, I believe, you cannot beat. We are within a walking distance to everything and anything your clients would come to Prague for, whether it would be the historic sites, whether it would be shopping, whether it would be the art galleries and the art scene, which Prague is very famous for. We are located about 30 minutes by taxi from the airport, and we are within a short vicinity of most of the public transports, which you or your guests may wish to use. But as I was saying before, Prague is very walkable, so everywhere your guests would want to go for, I personally would suggest to visit Prague on foot because you get to see most of it. The next slide, please. This is just what I was saying before. Central location. Prague is extremely beautiful. One of the advantages of Central Europe, which is where I consider Prague to be located, is that we really get the 4 seasons. So you get your beautiful spring with everything. You get your summers, you get your autumn, you get your winter, and Prague has just something to offer irrespective of the seasons. Next slide, please. The art, which is at the doorstep of the hotel. It's very, Prague is very a culture city. I would believe is one of the culture cities of Europe. And around the vicinity of the hotel, we have a lot of the galleries, a lot of the museums with whom we actually collaborate and cooperate. For most, we have either complimentary tickets that we can give to our guests. Very frequently, I personally get invitations to art exhibitions and to the opening of art exhibitions, to which I actually then donate to hotel guests, because I believe that's one of the beauties of Prague, and these art exhibitions are really not to be missed. The Emblem Hotel is, as I said, it's a boutique, beautiful hotel. The art is displayed not just in the lobby. We don't have it on rotation like the other hotel you listened to a while ago, but it's actually art which is displayed, and it's part of, it then becomes part of the hotel. So whilst we collaborate with the artists, it always is not an art which would be for sale, and the art can be actually seen in the lobby, in the hotel rooms. You can enjoy it whilst you're, for example, waiting to be checked in, or whilst your guests are waiting to be checked in. The hotel itself has many categories. We actually have 8 different categories, which I know may sound like a lot, but the beauty of that is that we have something for everybody. We have the small rooms, which we call the petites, which I think are ideal if you're a business traveler. But then we have rooms which can connect, which is perfect for families. We have rooms with a small French balcony, which is good if you want to step outside a little bit and take in fresh air, or if you really need to, and I pretend I don't know about it, if you want to smoke, then you can use the balcony. You can use the balconies for that. And then, of course, we have our beautiful signature suites. The signature suites are on the 6th floor. That's the suite library, which you can see at the bottom left. We have our suite atelier, we have our junior suites, and we have our suite terrace. So we do try to accommodate everybody, including guests who are looking for more comfort, more luxury, and a little bit more space. And of course, art is what's connecting in all of the rooms. Here you have just some examples of the art which we display in the rooms. The art is actually part of my concept. It's my own concept called Artist in Residence. And the art is essentially donated to the hotel by the artists, which are from all over the world. Some of them are local, some of them are from Mexico, Latin America, England. Most of these artists actually, and there's about 60 of them, 70 of them, they are either artists which are starting, or they are artists which are actually exhibiting in not just local but international art galleries. We have artists whose works can be seen in the Guggenheim, in MoMA, in Tate Modern, and so on and so on. And it's all curated by a group of curators to make sure that I will ascertain some kind of continuity and that I know that the art is of great quality. Next slide, please. Again, you can see art everywhere. This is something which we can do in the hotel. Of course, I don't expect guests to come just for the love of art. Not everybody is as crazy about art as I am. I'm fully aware of that. But we can, of course, create romantic packages. We can prepare special treatments, change the rooms into honeymoon suites. As long as I know in advance why your clients are coming to Prague, if there is any special occasion, we can prepare it either together with you or as part of a surprise, because my concierge team is always here to make all of the dreams and wishes come true. Next slide, please. Wedding, given the central location, I think the hotel is amazing for weddings at the Emblem. We are smaller, so we will be talking about smaller weddings, but we are about 5-minute walk, if that, from the Old Town Square, which is the place for weddings, because it's the historical square with the astronomical clock. And that's actually the place where, if you want a city wedding where everybody actually seems to be getting married, and most of the famous pictures of weddings from Prague actually come right from here. Of course, after weddings, usually come children. So we are equipped to welcome the smallest of our guests. Our policy is that children up until 8 stay free of charge, irrespective of if they need an extra bed or a baby cot, which we have available. And then from the age 8 and up, we consider them as adults. And we always have special treats for them as well and tested by my son. So I can assure you that babies will actually love them. This is just some small information about the classical, about the size of the rooms. As you can see, some of the rooms, especially the classical double room, which is the entry level room, and we have 18 of them, are on the smaller size. But that's because, you know, I do consider rooms, and especially a hotel like ours, to be just rooms. And then we inspire our guests to use the rest of the space within the hotel, whether it would be the M Lounge, which I will show you a little bit later, or the lobby or the spa, as an extension of their, rooms, to join the events that we do for the guests, to network with other guests, and to enjoy Prague, which is just there at their footstep. This is some of the programs that we work with, because of course we are not just represented by the lovely Calliope, but we are part of Preferred Hotels. This is some of the programs that we work with, like Preferred Platinum, 20 by Preferred. Capital One is a very strong program for us as well. But also I do need to mention that we also have a landing page and special offers for travel agents who would wish to book direct. Commission can either be paid via Onyx, or if you prefer, we can arrange for commission to be paid directly as well. It just all depends on your mode of preferred communication, how you prefer to work with us, and how you prefer to book for your guests. Personalized approach, apart from art, is something that I feel very strongly about. I believe that not every single guest is the same. I believe everybody, of course, is different. Everybody has different likes, different wishes. Some people may be here for the first time. Somebody might be coming to Prague on very frequent occasions. And we do try to portray that into the suggestions that we actually offer to our guests. We try to get information about them from you, ideally in advance, to make sure that we know, are they vegetarian? Do they like meat? What kind of music do they like? Are they into art? Are they into maybe what kind of are they into reading? Do they like history? What part of history do they like? And once I have that information, I can really tailor make any suggestions and put together a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day itinerary, which would be fit to their needs, to their wishes, and to their expectations. And that I think is very important. We put on we put on happy hours daily, where essentially we serve prosecco and some small nibbles, and that is the time when your guests can meet myself, my concierge, or anybody else from the team, and we really dedicate that hour and a half, 2 hours to talking to guests, maybe introducing them in between each other, and finding out more information about them. Because let's face it, when they arrive to the hotel during check-in, usually either there's a lot of people checking in, they might be tired, they might have other arrangements, and there really isn't the time to tell them what there is in Prague to do. And that's what these happy hours are actually supposed to deal with, and they are supposed to represent.
Yeah, wow, that's a huge perk, just the personalization from pre-stay and then during
Yeah.
stay as well, with the networking and happy hours and getting the chance to meet and mingle with the team and you. And yeah, that's
Precisely.
incredible perk of staying with you all.
Mhm. The M Lounge is one of the spaces which I was mentioning before. It's essentially, imagine it like your living room. We have 5 different rooms, one called the salon. We have one room called the games room. We have the pantry. We have the drawing room. We have the fumoir. And each of these rooms can be enjoyed by the hotel guests, of course, complimentary, in case they need to work, in case they need to they want to just sit and read a book and they don't want to actually do it in the hotel room, and they still want some peace and quiet and still be served some wonderful cocktails, then this is exactly the space where they can come and they can actually enjoy. This is some incentive in case you would have groups. We can, of course, in the same space, we can do incentive programs. Again, if you have a group, as long as you tell me what they would like to do, we can take it over and essentially organize anything and anything they would want, not just within the hotel, but of course through one of the partners that we have and that we collaborate with. Fumar, I would suggest, is ideal for smaller meetings. It is the smoking lounge. So it's, for example, ideal if you want to do cognac and cigar pairing. And we do allow our guests, of course, access to this room as well. If you need to work when you're here, and if you need to hold a boardroom meeting, then again, these rooms, one day they can be used for an incentive and a lecture, and you can visit it to hear about the current art in Prague. And the next day we can turn it quite easily into a meeting room should your clients come to Prague and they actually need to hold a meeting while they are here. This is some of the partnerships that we actually have. Again, through these partnerships, we usually can organize complimentary tickets. For example, in September, the first one up, Dvořákova Praha. It's a music festival happening all throughout September. And we usually have 20 complimentary tickets to otherwise completely sold out concerts. And these tickets we donate to our hotel guests. Prague City Tourism, which you see there, we are an official partner of Prague City Tourism. And thanks to that, we can organize exclusive tours. Exclusive in the terms that your guests, unless they are staying in our hotel, they would not be able to book it, or you would not be able to book it for them on your own, unless you're a Prague City Tourism official partner as well. I know Marie from Calliope, when she was at the hotel, she went and she actually experienced the Old Town Square astronomical clock, where they took her behind the scenes so that she could see actually how the astronomical clock works. The astronomical clock, just so you all know, it's the most historical clock on this planet, essentially, still using the mechanism from the dates and from the century when it was actually built. And it's quite interesting to actually go with the clock master. He likes to talk a lot, but it's quite interesting to go with the clock master to hear and to see the behinds of something which is a real rarity. And there's more of these tours. There's tours with the historical tram. There's a possibility through them to organize dinner at art galleries and so on and so on. And it's all only thanks to the partnership that we have. This is, again, I could talk about our art forever. So this is just very
Yeah, I'll just kind of go through.
Some of the information about the art. And of course, I must mention our lovely wellness, which is on the rooftop. I think we are one of the very few hotels, city hotels, which decided not to stick wellness in the basement, but actually on the prime location, which is the rooftop. We have a lovely jacuzzi where you can see all of Prague, just basically there. We have massage rooms. We use French cosmetic called Pure Altitude. And now I took on Codage for facial treatments as well. We have sauna, we have steam room, we have a small fitness room, and that's all available to our guests free of charge. Of course, they need to pay for the treatments. But I think that with the rooftop, with the daylight, is just simply beautiful.
Yeah, what a unique setting for you don't see that, many times to have it on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Really, really lovely. Well, thank you so much. I feel
You're
like I
welcome.
learned so much about the art aspect and all the connections you have to all the private tours and museums and galleries, and it really is such a perk of, staying with your hotel. So that was amazing to hear. Thank
Thank you.
you. And then we will take it home with Nemacolin. Let me go to your
Yes,
other
thank
presentation.
you.
Of course. Go here, and then I will share my screen with you.
Fantastic.
All right, you should be driving. I think you just have to put it in full screen mode, which is at the bottom right corner.
Oh, my apologies. Okay, there we go.
Here you go.
All
Take it away.
right. Okay, thank you. All right, so Nemacolin. So here we go. Oh, there we go. All right, so Nemacolin, we are situated on over 2,200 acres of land, up in the rolling hills of the Laurel Highlands. So, we talk about avant-garde kind of being the theme for this presentation today. And so, Nemacolin really kind of tries to be, larger than life and always have exciting new things coming on board. And this kind of little video is kind of kicking it off, showing a little bit about Nemacolin and some of the things we have there, truly from our carousels to our golf, kind of all around the grounds. So, Nemacolin itself has really evolved over the years. So it's been a property for about 30 years, but over the last about 10 years is when it's really evolved. And over the last 3, they've put about $250 million into the property to really revitalize it and make it a little more over the top. So some of the interesting stats that are really important to know is that we are comprised of 3 distinctly different 5-diamond hotels. We have 40 townhomes, 9 private homes and estates. So there's a little bit of a different aesthetic or caliber or type of accommodation available for all of your different clients and your clients' needs. Another area, I do want to mention that we have on this slide too, is we have over 1,000 pieces of fine art available on the property. Our owners are extremely passionate about art. And so that's an area they've made significant investment that's now available for all of our guests to enjoy, which is really incredible amenity for them. But as I mentioned, so we are on over 2,000 acres of land, and we kind of have this fun, whimsical map where you kind of show the breakdown. So on the lower right is where we have our chateau, which is connected to our Grand Lodge, and I'll explain that in a second. And then kind of up by our golf course is where we have Falling Rock, our third property. And then to the left, you kind of see spread out some of our homes and estates. So just a little broad overview visual of how we are laid out. So looking at our accommodations, the first I want to touch on is the Chateau. So this is mirrored after the Ritz in Paris. So the family themselves, who's the Hardy family, who had created 84 Lumber, their vision was to, really have this reminiscent property of that. So think 14-foot high ceilings, chandeliers. This is a property they had done an very extensive reimagination to last year, and really got these gorgeous rooms and really brights and golds and a lot of elevated amenities, including like Dyson hair dryers in the room, porcelain toothbrushes. We have full butler service available. Now contrasted with the Grand Lodge. So this is the historical building where it all had began. And so this too, about 2 years ago, they did a full gut renovation, changing it from 90 guest rooms to 56 all suites. So these have a lot more of that kind of wooden aesthetic, really light, bright, think cozy apartment type style in these guest rooms. But again, very gorgeous, sourced marble from Italy, gorgeous restaurant Fawn and Fable. They're kind of panning through right now, which is where we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner available, traditional steakhouse, a gorgeous new circle bar, really warm, inviting lobby. So very, again, different juxtaposition in terms of style there. The third of our hotels is going to be Falling Rock. So this property had been built back when we were hosting the PGA tournament, the 84 Lumber Classic. And this has now become an adults only property. So it's only 42 rooms. So it's very boutique in feel, but there are some amazing amenities for the adults only, such as like happy hours in the evening. They get to use some of our signature suites in our holistic healing center complimentary. We have a great gelato cart in there. And these rooms are a lot more warm, but Frank Lloyd Wright inspired, since his apprentice helped design this property. And so those are really the 3 hotels that we have on the grounds. Now moving on to our homes and estates. So we have 40 townhomes and then 9 of these private homes and estates. So really the distinction comes down to the size of the rooms. So our largest home can sleep up to 16 guests, whereas our townhomes can sleep up to 6. So these are a really great value option, and really nice for multi-gen families to consider as well. And so here's a little bit of our estate. So again, these are just going to be a little bit larger. So some of these are focused on the golf course, and other ones on its private lake. Each one is positioned differently on the property. So if you have one you're interested in or have questions, you can reach out to our team and we can help figure out which one is the best for your clients. So here's another more visual of kind of the renovations that we had done in the Grand Lodge, and really, again, kind of opening everything up and making it a lot lighter and brighter. So our property itself. So what makes us exciting is really our activities and our food and our beverage. So we have over 18 different dining options available on property, from traditional restaurants to some bars on property. We have our evening escape nightcap, which we just created about a year ago, where now we'll have nightly entertainment available. So think cabaret, jazz shows, even elves after dark during our holiday season. So there's ever-changing entertainment throughout the year, but it's a really fun and inviting place. So there's a couple different options in the evenings too, from our casino to our cigar lounge. So lots to do day or night. And then our spa and wellness. So this is going to be a big focus on our property. So we have over a 30,000 square foot spa available with 30 treatment rooms. And that's in addition to our holistic healing center, where we have cryotherapy, float tanks, acupuncture. So a real good focus on wellness. Our golf is another one that's really incredible. So we have 2 18-hole PTI designed golf courses, in addition to a complimentary mini golf course for our kids. We also have an incredible golf academy where you can play over 200 courses from around the world, including our own. So lots to do for the golf enthusiasts on property. We have a lot of outdoor adventures. As I mentioned, with 2,000 acres, there's a lot to do there. We have a 200-acre clay shooting facility. We have 10 miles of Jeep off-roading. We have fly fishing, whitewater rafting. We have zip lining. We have ropes course. So for the adventurous, we also have a lot to do. We have 7 pools on property, including the Peak, which is where we always have fun things happening. So we have a little fun imagery of our Peak here, where we have lazy river, swim up bar, and that's where we also have bowling, axe throwing, and lots of activity for all ages. So art, as I touched on, we do have over 1,000 pieces on property. And so we have a lot of art tours too. So walking tours, driving sculpture tours. We also have an incredible new art studio and an artist in residence program, where we house an artist for 90 days. Sorry. And we get to hone in and help enhance them with their craft. So we'll showcase their art. We'll enable them to, show what they're doing to our clients. They can come in, they can see what they're doing. And then our art studio, where from sensory tables for children up to adults, where you can do candle making. There's immersive art experiences that you can involve yourself with as well. We have 9 different shopping areas on property. We have a private airstrip on property, so getting to us, that is one way that you can fly to us. Pittsburgh is our main hub, but we do have a private airstrip and 2 regional airports for those flying private. We also have multi-tiered ropes courses. This is one thing that we just added in, including 3,000 feet of zip lining. So we talk about multi-gen, as I mentioned, but there really is a lot to do for all different ages. So from relaxing in the spa to getting outside. There's really something for everyone. Now, we talk about going over the top. Nemacolin is also known for some very incredible events that we've been hosting. And so we have a little touch on some of our most exciting events that we've hosted, including, here we go, our summer solstice. So this is our unveiling of the chateau. We had everyone from Lionel Richie to Michael Bublé come, a lot of star-studded spectacle, really over the top. But these are the type of events that we do put on property, and guests were able to come and buy tickets for this to attend. So, keep in mind, we may be having more of these in future. We also, at summer solstice, had, athletes from John McEnroe. We had Fred Couples doing golf experiences. So little touches throughout the property of things that one could do. We also hosted Engage 24, which is one of the world's largest wedding events. So we were very fortunate to be able to host that back in 2024. And again, you kind of see some imagery from the property where we really went over the top, had incredible performers there. We had beautiful setups and built some gorgeous facilities on property where guests can still enjoy today. We also, coming up, festive season is on the horizon. And so we have our Hardy's Holiday Village that will be recreated again this year. And so we've enlisted some Broadway performers who will be performing every hour for those when it is open. They can do gingerbread making courses. They can do cocoa crafting and lots of fun things that interact with our elves. So keep in mind, if you'd like to come during festive, we still have availability. Our wellness retreats, these are something that we continually are trying to add more and more of, as wellness has been a focus throughout the property. So we have a happenings page on our website, but we're trying to add more and more retreats throughout the year. Same with one of our culinary events. We had Bisou Bisou with a very well-known pastry chef who had come and done an event in our Blue Room, which is a beautiful room mirrored after Marie Antoinette's secret boudoir room, where we also host our afternoon tea. So if you'd like to enjoy that space. We also have had concerts from everyone from John Stamos and the Beach Boys, Gloria Gables, and many, many more. And that was up at the Peak. We also had these BMW driving events. You can see kind of right on our airstrip there too. So really maximizing all of our events on property. So, a little bit of Nemacolin and some of the wow things that we've been taking advantage of and doing recently. But if you have any questions, please let me know. There's a little touch of Nemacolin for you today. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm always impressed how you and Laura are able to cover so much of that property within such a short amount of time, but you guys do it every time and impress me every time. But I just want to share a famous quote from my last fam when I was at Nemacolin with about 11 advisors. By the end of our time there, one of them goes, this is the one place, if my clients come here and they say they're bored, I can tell them it's a them problem, because there quite literally is so much, anything you can think of there, like they have it. So it really is that much and more when you get there. So that was the advisor's take on it, if that gives you a sense. Plus Natalie's amazing presentation, but thank you so much, Natalie.
Thank you.
And then I just kind of wanted, before we sign off, I know we went a little bit long, but I did want to show our upcoming webinars that we also have coming up. And if you have any last minute questions, you can put in the chat now. I don't see any though. But we do have our next webinar will be in October. So this is going to be golf getaway. So we'll have PGA National, Sea Island, the K Club, and the Laurel Hotel and Spa. So that can easily be signed up for on our website using the advisor tool section. So it's going to be right next to the Our Hotel section on Calliope Collective's website. So you can sign up there, and we hope to see you there. And also just continue to follow us on socials. I mean, we're really growing on Instagram especially. So follow us there for any upcoming fam opportunities, what shows we're going to be at, hotel updates, new hotels, promotions, things like that. Definitely always good to follow us there. So thank you all. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you on the next webinar.